What's up, folks? Tilo here. Let me grab my feller. All right, we're going to jump into it because this might be a little bit long. Down here in Florida, enjoying the sun. Not really, it's really raining over here. But I enjoying the beach when I can, right? Second trip back in the last 3 months or something like that. Very, very successful in my opinion. There is a bittersweet story at the end, almost tragic, because it's gonna break your heart. It broke my heart. But went to all the stores and couldn't find anything. So I hit the local flea markets. And those of you who are on Instagram and were friends or whatnot saw that I picked up this guy. Hey guy. All right. It's Spawn 3 from Series 7 Deluxe. When it's boxed, it's like the box is like a foot long. And it has like an owl, I think, or a wolf, one of those two, right? But I found them inside a little toy bin, and it was $1. Dude was pretty dirty. So, I had to take him home, wash him up, feed him. So yeah, pretty happy. He still lights up. Believe it or not. However long he was in there, he still lights up. His, his little hinges, they don't work as good as they used to. Hit the little thing, and pow, on him Spawn. His lights light up. I can't for the life of me figure out how I lit him up last time, but yeah, for $1, not gonna leave my homeboy there. And then while I was at the flea market, I did some rummaging, and all these books were 50 cents. So I'm just gonna breeze through them. Oh, come here, guy. There you go. You're in frame now. This one I'll save for last because. Okay. All right. So, Cyber Force #1, UPC. The Flash 92, First Impulse with the DC Universe block. Harbinger #0, the regular edition. There is a pink background edition where you send in some coupons and it's like a comic giveaway or mail away based on the coupons, which is the obviously harder to find and more expensive of the two. Harbinger #10. It's cool. First appearance of Hardcore. So, yep. The Adventures of Superman, $4.97. It is the second print. The one that you're looking for is the third print. They'll have the Roman numerals right here. So, but second print, why not, right? These next two was pretty cool because this one I'm about to show you, I've been looking for it. This one's not in the greatest condition, but for 50 cents, I'm not going to leave it there. Justice League #12. The Jim Lee variant. I think it's called the Kiss variant. I don't know, I've always liked this. Don't mind the poly, I haven't changed any bags. But yeah, Jim Lee, the Kiss, always loved it. And then this book, I was actually at a vendor. He had roughly about 12 long boxes, all priced at 50 cents, and then he had one box that was his premium books. So I looked through them, didn't really see anything I wanted, so I kind of passed on it. But for 50 cents, what I did find was Green Lantern #48, right? First Kyle Rayner. And he didn't know what this was, but what his remark to me was, because I was in there for a hot minute, probably like an hour. And he's like, dude, you dig through all that stuff and all you picked up was this one book. I was like, yeah. It's the only book I was interested in. So I'm kind of curious to know if he kind of remembered what this was and then looked it up himself, right? So good stuff, good stuff. And then SpiderMan X23 Marvel team up. I want to say this is the first team up. Church, if you want to, you can correct me. I'm fairly certain this is the first team up. I got here probably about 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, and last week, I think it was Friday, I was Googling, conventions in Florida, because I was striking out everywhere for these stores. And came to find out there was a convention, a one-day convention, down in Orlando. And what keyed me in and what sold me was there was a particular artist that was going to be there. That kind of really shocked me. So I went. It was one of those old school conventions where you rented out a conference room of a hotel. You had your vendors set up. And I want to say there's about 10 vendors there. Out of the 10, there's probably about 2.5 comic vendors, right? And then everybody else was like pops and toys. They had 2 artists. One of them was, I think, Rob Hunter. I know he did a lot of Aquaman, some Justice League stuff. And he was selling some original art, which I probably would have bought it if it wasn't for the other guy. And what sold me was Bermejo was going to be there. I had no books for him to sign. I cannot say enough good things about this cat. We talked a good 3 to 4 hours, right? And I hate interrupting or talking to artists that are working because some of them don't like it. As a matter of fact, some of them just close shop and go to the back and they do their work. But this guy was really personable, fielding questions, just talk. Man, we talked about everything. We talked about how the promoter pretty much brought him in, right? Dude lives in Italy, and the promoter bought him his plane ticket and brought him here to Orlando. So imagine how much money that is. But we also talked about that Suicide Squad, that Harley Quinn Lex Luthor cover he did. And, he said that he got a lot of flack for that. A lot. To the point where he was getting, like, death threats. Death threats. I was like, really? He's like, yeah, you wouldn't believe. But, yeah, so, he lives in Italy, and you'll never guess who his suite mate is. Francisco Martino. I was like, are you serious? He's like, yeah. So, ain't that some shit, right? But he was doing commissions. I walked when I was running late, and I was like, man, don't let me drive all the way down here. And his commission list was filled because it's one day. Bermejo, right? So I walked in, beeline straight to him, and asked him, hey, is your commission list filled? He was like, no, I got one more. I was like, boom. I was like, put me down, Chief. I got it. So he wrote my name down. And the way I like to do commissions is if you haven't worked on Spawn, then I want a Spawn commission. So I asked him, I was like, hey, have you ever worked on Spawn? He was like, nope. I was like, cool, do that. So there was 5 guys ahead of me. I had plenty of time. So I started digging through those long boxes. Then I ran into a YouTuber. Yeah. He doesn't show his face. But everybody, how everybody has those key things about or how they say stuff. And that's how I keyed it was him. I was on one side of the table. He was on the other side talking to the vendor. And I heard it. I was like, I know that voice. But I was waiting for that word that'll actually key me in. So I was like low-key stalking him. So I kind of made my way to his side, and I was kind of like digging and trying to listen. And he said it, and I was like, that's him. So he didn't see me because he was talking to the vendor, but once the vendor left, because it was him, vendor, me. Once the vendor left, we kind of had this like moment where the clouds opened up, the sunbeams came down, the birds are chirping, the rainbow was going. You heard the little whistling in the background, and we made eye contact. It was a moment. It was a moment. But whatever, right? Met up with Master X Splinter. And I don't know who initiated it, but it was like, yo. Not really, but, you know, we talked for a little bit, and he had a spare one of these books, so he was like, hey, do you want this? And I was like, cool. So he gave me Green Lantern number 25, right? First Atrocitus. So my dumb ass, right? I was like, cool, appreciate it, brother. Put it inside my little bag. He was like, yo, I didn't pay for it. I was like, hey, okay. So then, you know, paid for it. Appreciate Master X for the book. He, again, it was a small con. He saw what he needed to see, and he was like, all right, I'm out. I was like, well, I got here because I still got a commission. We exchanged phone numbers. We met up later, right? Went back, talked to, you know, Bermejo for a little bit, and yeah, he got done with the commission. First time doing Swan, and it was funny how he was critiquing himself, right? But right here it is. First, lead Bermejo on Spawn. I guess I'm a little bit of an elitist when it comes to stuff like that. I want to make sure that they never worked on it. I want to be the first, right? So he was critiquing this area right here. He didn't like how that turned out. Grayson, it's lightning, buddy. Yeah, lightning is bad. I get it. Grayson, enough. Hold on one second. Man, I would really hate to see whoever pisses off Grayson. Right? So, again, he was critiquing this area right here. He didn't like it. First on Spawn, please. From the top of the dome. I'm not using any references. It's not too bad. Pretty happy. Right. So that was said and done. I met up with Master X Splinter a little bit later. We chit-chatted, went to one of his spots, and we just talked about different stuff. Called up Secret Nearman and chit-chatted with all three of us. And then after that, said my ways, departed. Now my bittersweet, tragic story. All right, first of all, I will say this. This is, for the most part, a holy grail for me. It is a book that I honestly never thought, and then when I bought the 129, I knew for damn sure I wasn't going to get it. But this popped up, and I was like, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Sent the message, is this still available? As a matter of fact, yes. And this was Friday. And I finally got today, which is Wednesday. And I was getting irritated because I really wanted the book. Saturday, I was like, hey, I'll pick it up. You know, I got your money. Let's do this. He was like, then somehow my YouTube profile was attached to the email. So the guy sent an email back and said, are you a reseller? I was like, no. And then I was kind of confused. I was like, why would he say that? And then I looked at the email and it said Kingdom Comics. I'm like, oh God. So I was really scared that turned him away. But yeah, finally, after, I'm not going to say pressuring and stalking him, because obviously it's his book, and if he doesn't want to sell it, he ain't going to sell it. But I was going to put up a fight for this book. So I get there. He emails me today. He didn't want to do any phone calls. He didn't want to exchange his number. He was scared of all that. You know, suspicious. He didn't want any hoodlums getting a hold of it in the event that I am a hoodlum. Even though I look like a hoodlum, because I look like a bum. But that's okay. Right? Sat down. And he's like, here it is. I was like, oh. And then this is where the tragedy starts. Book this old, you would expect some flaws, some defects. Some more so than others. Some you can live with, some you can't live with. But if this defect wasn't there, fuck it, here you go. So I got myself a Captain America, Avengers #4. The defect is that original owner, and when he was a kid, he cut it out. That destroyed my heart. Because you have little issues here, but other than that, look at this book. Just look at it. And then look at the pages. Off-white to white. And maybe even white. Who knows? But all pages are there. Everything is attached. Except for that. Look how white this thing is. I expressed my concern and we both agreed. And he gave me a very, very, very fair price on it. And you know what, to be quite honest, with the original price that he did have on it, I might have bid and said, you know what, I'll take it anyways for the original price. But he agreed to, it's going to sound corny, agreed to the terms, and I got it. If I was to send that book to CGC in that condition, I think maybe no higher than 1.8. I was trying to look at all the grading, you know, the Overstreet, and trying to look at all the CGC books. Overstreet has it where the corner box at 2.0 can be missing, and that kills me because I know this book is so much more. But that's my book. I'm happy to get it. I honestly didn't think I'll ever get it, but a defect like that, I think I can live with it. Beautiful. Anyways, got a con this weekend. It's raining cats and dogs, so hopefully nothing crazy happens. Hopefully you guys enjoyed y'all's Wednesdays. Hopefully you guys got the books that you guys wanted. Did some outstanding hunting. Thanks for watching. Junkie, Splinter, and anybody else that's going to be at those cons, you know, stop me, hit me up. Let's go hunting together. Although I'll probably break away, because if you find a book that I want, I'll probably get mad. Kind of like Corner IU, so you dig it? Anyways, laters.